Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he finds Tyler Croft. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now it's Hunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down. He'll look to throw. Flush to it, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. It's their quarterback taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now back to throw. And that's complete. It's Watson. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly. And that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete to Sharp. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Gone!
They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over to the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. To throw here. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Detroit! Here we go now. Green 39.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
They're going to look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. And this defense looking like they have come to play. The pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass.
Pass.
Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Gronkowski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Well, this is blocked. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Looking to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. It doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
Trying to improvise. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Gun! 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 Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll set up to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on first and 10.
Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Hunt, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He goes underneath the Drake. Finding room to the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He'll get it up the middle. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Detroit!
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Now for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. This is Hunt. And just shutting him off there. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and
he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Robert Woods, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
They'll throw now on the final play. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll run. This is Hunt. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bucks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. It's brought in by Dodson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on first down. Buying time to his left. Looking deep for Hilton. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And his throw here's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Bucks on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Gone. Now let's go. Blue, landed.
Now back to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
They go play action here on first down. Out to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Lucky 56.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He'll drop to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
On third down, that's Harrison. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. He dumps it off to Dre. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll look to throw. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards on the play. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That one is caught by Hunt. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking to throw. And the grab by Croft. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one. No problem there on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that doesn't...
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They run again with Hunt, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Going to throw right side here, complete. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So out come the Falcons now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much? And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 32. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Stop shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. The corner, Stephon Gilmore, on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. A toss play to Hunt. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one 28 yards on the ground. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the 1st half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run with Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And this one is right through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Fights him off. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Tampa Bay, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, despite the loss here, was a splendid regular season as they'll finish at 12-4. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Money bag. Money bag. Money bag. Make it like a money bag. Money bag. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet. back, money 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 back, woo, money back, money back. And I with me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I made 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, your man, with my name in your mouth. I do the Maybach on Monday, throw rock Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all sideways, sideways,
Hey, hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now it in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, I was by the stove. Big inside this cases once do me dirty, I'ma find you, lay your out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself, rather do this alone. I wasn't asking for no help, they keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said broski you a star. I said brother hold it down, soon we'll all be lit.